Hi, I'm Wanqin. Next, I will ask you some questions about the menopause. The first one, what makes you to start discussing menopause on social media platforms?
My mother's menopause made me realize that this stage is too quiet. She had trouble sleeping, was anxious and irritable for years, but we never associated this with menopause. At the time, I saw that if even our family didn't understand it, let alone others. So I started making videos to talk about these things and not lighthearted way.
Next, what negative feedback or public pressure have you encountered when creating videos or articles about menopause?
Some people leave comments saying it's too private or are you crazy about becoming famous? Something I'm creating anxiety, but more often I receive private messages saying thank you. I finally understand what's wrong with me. This keep me going.
Is there any viewer's comment or message that particularly touched or impressed you?
A girl told me that she and her mother watched my video together, and it was the first time they talked about the world menopause. She said her mother cries at night, saying that finally someone understood her. This made me realize that even just saying the world can be a form of support.
What do you think is the biggest misunderstanding in the public has about the menopausal?
The biggest problem is that people tend to view it as bad temper or middle-aged women being overly sensitive, and no one is willing to admit that it is actually a stage of hormonal changes that can be understood and cared for. Social media platforms can enable more people to see others' experiences, thereby reducing feelings of loneliness. Many people only realize that they are not alone in their situation after coming across a certain video.
What do you think the menopausal has always been a taboo topic in the society?
Once women are labeled as being named menopause, it seems as if they lose their reason, active attractiveness, and value. This is rooted in the shame of aging and the separation of women's bodies.
What's your opinion on labels like emotional? Are they fair to women?
It's extremely unfair. We often describe men's emotional fluctuations as personality or decisiveness, but for women it becomes unstable or mentally ill. This double standard must be broken.
If you could give one piece of advice to women going through the menopausal, what would it be?
You haven't gotten worse, so you are just going through a reboot of your body. Please be gentle with yourself.
What do you think of the phenomenon that middle-aged women must pretend to be fine in the workplace?
I understand this feeling not too well. You can say that you are not in good form, that your memory is failing, or that you are feeling down. Otherwise, you will be seen as someone who's about to be replaced.
What do you think is the main reason for the silence about menopausal in the workplace? What is the biggest misunderstanding against the menopausal woman in the workplace culture?
Because people are afraid that speaking now means you are no longer capable, but we should think the opposite. Menopause is not an issue of ability, but a health concern, and it requires support and institutional guarantees. The fundamental reason why menopause is silenced in the workplace is that once it is mentioned, it seems to imply that you are unstable and unable to perform your job. This is a cultural unspoken rule that forces women to pretend to be fine. The biggest prejudice against menopausal women in many workplaces is to regard emotional fluctuations or decreased attention as ability issues, but in fact, it is a body undergoing huge changes, which requires a little understanding and support rather than labels and exclusion.
If there were a menopausal-friendly workplace, what support measures would you like to include?
For instance, one can apply for short-term flexible working hours without being questioned about emotional issues. There are regular women's health lectures, and the management can also learn about this aspect. 12. From now on, let's turn it into a world that can be spoken. The more people dare to say it, the more support they will receive.
So, okay, finished. Thank you for your interview. Bye.